right, I am sitting here with multiple boxing world champion, Devon Alexander, sitting here at Newbury Intermediate School here in Florissant, Missouri, which is where I grew up. And
Okay.
We're here for a career day.
Wow. I didn't know that. Joel, you grew up here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My parents still live right next to Dunningham Park, next to Fort North. So this is where I grew up.
So has it changed in it?
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
Iggy's was my favorite place to go as a kid. Iggy's right there around the corner in the Hallsbury and Parker.
Okay.
The ice cream.
Wow.
But we're here to talk about youth. What's it take to get life going in the right direction? Times are changing, right? There's all kinds of technology and AI and jobs are all over the place. So what type of advice would you give to somebody who's, approaching, teenage level of age? What are some of the things that helped you along your journey as you were getting into boxing at age 7 and 8?
Okay. So my advice that I would give to the teens that's growing up, I would tell them first, God blessed us with everybody with a tremendous talent. You got a talent. I got a talent. Jane got a talent. Everybody got a talent. You just got to find that talent that God blessed you with. A lot of times somebody can find it early. A lot of times people got to seek it. But the good thing about God and this thing we call life, everybody has a talent. So I would tell them, find your talent. Second, I would tell them, stay consistent and make sure that this is the thing you want to do for the rest of your life. And if you can, I tell them all the time, if you can wake up and do it every day and still love it, after 5 years, that's what you should be doing every day.
So if somebody out there is hearing this and they say, hey, I'm doing this thing, maybe it's golf or gymnastics or theater or track or book club or whatever it is, and maybe you're doing a few different things and you don't love any of them. Do you just keep working until you find something that you love, or keep working on stuff to get you interested? What should somebody do if they don't really know what they love?
Man, that's a good question. So, and if they're in a field that they don't like, I would get out, to be honest, because your happiness is way more important than the money that you're getting from what you're doing. I would get out because life goes fast. You will live to regret it because you spent your time doing something that you hate, absolutely hate. So I would get out, find some. There is no way you can become 25, 30 years old and not know something that you love to do. I'm sure that they know for sure, man, I love doing this. That's what they should be doing. And I would tell them to get out for sure, because that's miserable. That's miserable. Wake up, you hate your job every day, and you're like, you're in the wrong field.
And that's one of the things I talk about a lot on this channel is side hustles or side businesses. People maybe have a job, they're doing it, maybe they don't love it, maybe it's not the long term, but maybe you find something that you do love on the side, you work on it. You work on it every day. You mentioned consistency, doing something maybe an hour a day or an hour a week to work on the side thing, and maybe it becomes something you love. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people build a business on the side, and then over time, it builds up and grows, and all of a sudden they can leave their W-2 job to do the thing that they love.
Absolutely.
Just an example. So you got into boxing at 7. I think you did your first match at 8 years old.
Yes.
How did you get introduced to boxing as I can actually go do this thing and be a part of this group? How did you get exposed to it from the very beginning of actually, hey, I'm going to go to this gym and go work out?
Okay, first, my elementary school was called Clay Elementary School. It was down in North St. Louis. And my coach, who was a police officer at the time named Kevin Cunningham, he brought flyers to the gym because he was starting a boxing gym. And a lot of times people in my area, they want to start programs to keep kids off the streets, keep kids from getting into gangs, keep them from a worried mind, like just doing anything. So I brought the flyer home to my mom. My big brother Vaughn, he went first. And my mom would not let me go for nothing because she know the dangers of my environment. He was a little older than me, so she let him go first. And then After a week straight, I begged her to let me go. She finally let me go, and I went. And my coach said I was smiling and cheesing the whole time I was there, enjoying myself. Because I was doing something different. It was fun. So my first day of boxing became the rest of my life, to be honest. If you think about it, I never left. I stayed too long.
So your brothers were there,
Yeah.
right? So that camaraderie, kind of the thing you bring home, talk about boxing. Was there anybody in your circles or at school that saw you doing this kind of growth and wanted to kind of be around it and also participate in some of the workouts and whatnot?
Absolutely. Over the years, going to school and young men knowing I boxed, I really motivated them to want to do something better. They saw me running around the park. They saw me training every day. They would ask me to, come hang out with us. No, I got to go to the gym. So that really motivated them. Man, if Devon can do this, let me try to do something positive. And it really worked for a minute until the streets it can grab you. I don't know what the big deal about it is that attracts young people to the streets, but God took it out of me. And I think God saved me from all of it. I never had the urge to be in a gang. I never had the urge to want to go and rob and kill anybody. I never had the urge to want to fight in the streets. God took that out of me. All I did was focus on boxing. And once I got into boxing, I said, this is what I'm going to continue to do. I don't know where it's going to lead me, but I'm going to continue to do this.
I mean, focus and consistency and dedication out there running laps and running hills and all the work that goes into being a professional fighter, right? All the growth and all the work you do for years, decades, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of energy to expend. So why was that so important to you versus somebody else who maybe didn't have the same type of dedication or drive or purpose?
So I listened. It was important to me because I knew that my first my first national title as an amateur, I went to the gym every day. My other teammates, they missed the gym. They would come back. They would miss 2 days. I'm still going every day. And guess what? I was the only one that won the national title. Then we went to another national title. I kept coming, stayed in the gym, and guess what? I was the only one that won another national title. So at an early age, I figured out that if I stay with this thing, I can become successful at whatever I do. And early, I got the gist of working hard, staying consistent. So that's how I got that piece down.
What's one workout regimen or training thing that stands out? Like, if I did that and that thing translated to being successful. Is there one type of exercise or training that stands out that you remember that made a difference?
No, that's a good question, but no, Joe, because with boxing, you would think that a sport that's so short in time that you do, like just say a typical pro fight is 12 rounds, 36 minutes. You would think you wouldn't have to train as much for that 36. It's only 36 minutes. But it's a lot goes into it because a lot of times people get the gist of boxing wrong. When it comes to that square circle, you're trying to keep another man from trying to knock your head off, and at the same time try to impose your will on him while he's resisting you. So that takes energy in itself. So my regimen was 6 miles a day. Gym every day, sometimes 3 days, and wind sprint, sometimes 3 days.
6 miles, wind sprint.
Yes. So you have to. That's the type of training you have to have if you want to be different and special. Yes, I can do less, but it's going to give me average results. To be special, and I teach my son this all the time. If you want to be special, you have to do special things in life. You will get different results. 95% of the people in the world are average. would you say the average? They're content with graduate from high school, going to college, getting a job, maybe getting a salary, and student loans, getting into a job where they salary, and then they content with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are seeking greatness, and that's what separates greatness from the rest, there's a reason why you don't know every NBA player out there. You know the special because they stand out, and to stand out, you got to do something special.
So it's interesting. One of my favorite players is Steph Curry, and anybody who follows me knows I'm the biggest Steph Curry.
I'm gonna tell my son that.
East of Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about him is that if you look at his career trajectory, he was almost out of the league. And I think in 2011-12 time frame, all the ankle surgeries, reconstructed, missed so many games, and all that work it took for him to get back, to be able to at least play, all the core work, the glutes, the deadlifts, the hamstrings, all the stuff that he did, ended up making him a better player. All that work, all that pain and struggle transcended and exploded him to be a better player. So my question for you is, when you look back on this journey, is there a time where you had a struggle and doubted yourself and second guessed if this is really worth all of it? And then how did you respond?
Well, that's around the Olympic time is when I felt like, man, what did I do wrong? So it was around the time my dad was dying actually too. So in 2004, my dad told me he was dying of prostate cancer. He found out he had cancer through his whole body. One of the worst days of my life. It was like I was dreaming when he told me. Because he brought me and my brother Lamar into the room, and he said, "Hey, you guys, look, I'm dying." So he told us he has cancer all through his body, and it was one of the worst. Yes, 17. It was the worst time of my life. So at that time, I wanted to go to the Olympics for him so bad that I was training like a madman. So I made it to the Olympics, and I made it to the Olympic trial finals. When I got to the finals, I thought I won. But the scorecard said 16-16. So what they did was, it was a computer scoring. So you would have to really hit the kid on the white part of the glove. So it's a computer scoring. So they said the score was tied 16-16, and they had to go to the punch count of who threw the most punches. He threw one more punch to me, and that's what gave him the decision. So that stuck with me, and I didn't want to go home and tell my dad, "Dad, I lost, man. I didn't do it for you. I lost." But you know, that was around that time was, what did I do wrong? Did I not train enough? Did I do this? I thought I won, to be honest. I thought I won, but I was so devastated that I couldn't tell my dad that I made it to the Olympics. That was the worst time that I can think of that I question, is this for me?
So at that point, you come out of that, do you do something different?
Yes, train harder. It was a fire that was burnt inside of me that just, my coach said, "Look, you won that fight. The next punch you throw is going to be for a check." So we transitioned to the pro game. I was on a mission ever since.
The journey, the support, the coaches, the advice, all that stuff. What stands out about that support along the way that helped push you to these elite levels?
What stands out is they consistently told me to stay the course. Don't let nobody on the side of the road distract you from keep going down the road. I remember that plain as day. And that's what I did. That's why I'm 3-time world champion today. That's the only reason I'm 3-time world champion.
So we're here at this career fair trying to inspire some of the youth here in St. Louis. And you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, I feel like we can raise the subconscious expectations, belief of,
Yes.
of society by providing more information and just talking about the stuff more, like how people grow. What are some of the things that you think that some of the young kids can learn, or how do you be consistent? Okay, I got a goal. How do you be consistent? What are ways that people can change their beliefs or change what's possible?
How can somebody change a belief and be consistent? Is do something you love. It goes back to that, Joel. Do something that you enjoy doing. There's something for everybody. Like you can contest it. There is something good for everybody. There's something that you cannot live without. Do that.
I love it. And I'm sitting here, we're doing the podcast. I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
I never ever thought or dreamed about doing the podcast. It wasn't anything I ever thought of. But when you do the work works on you. Mm-hmm. It's the same by Alex Hermosa. You do the work and the work works on you. And then all of a sudden I had an idea like, I know I can do that because I've done stuff before. I put a goal out there. I've reached it. Now I know that the process, I can do it because I've done it.
Absolutely.
So the kids, April 6th.
April 6th.
You're making, foundation, the event, the amateur event. What's one thing you want to talk about the event?
Last thing, I got a show coming up called the Devon Alexander Invitational Classic, and I'm doing a hair show. I partner with the Hair Stove and the Urban League with my man James Clark, and we're doing seasonal shows to give the kids something positive to do every season. So this is the second one. We did one in November, the second one in April, the next one will be in the summertime, and then in the fall. So we are really trying to make sure we put these kids on a big platform so they can feel special. There's nothing like hearing a crowd roar for you doing something positive. That's what I want to push. There's too much negative out there already. I want people to see that the kids are trying. There is some kids out there trying to do something positive.
Awesome. We're running out of time. Thank you so much.